Hi everybody, this is Frankie with the LCC's Continuing Education Department, and today's tutorial is going to be about functions. Let's get started. This bar is called the status bar, and even though when you go to print out spreadsheets and such, this part does not show up on whatever's printed, it gives you useful information while you're working on stuff. So I click on this 32,000. But when I start to add other cells to it, at the bottom, it gives me different information about the numbers that I've selected. So I know that the sum of these numbers is 56,000, and I know the average of them and how many cells is involved. And that's really useful information. Again, this part of the spreadsheet, the status bar, does not print. So we have to figure out a way to create this information inside the spreadsheet, which we're going to do in the total. That way, the information is printed on the spreadsheet. This in the status bar is just so that we have a working total of what we're doing while we're working on it. So what you'll do to create an auto sum is you'll click underneath total or wherever on your spreadsheet you want to have the total. And this key, this symbol underneath the home tab, this symbol is auto sum. You click it, it automatically selects everything above it. It shows you which cells are included in the sum. So everything between F2 and F6 is included. Now, it's important that it's here, but that the function is also here. That's important because when you press enter, now you have a total. But when you press on this total, it stays the total, but you still have the function, the way what creates the total here. And this is where you're going to work on it. Now, one of the students asked about how you would merge information in two different columns. So we're going to do that now. Because it's the sum here and it's between all the numbers between F2 and F6, we want to add these numbers to it even though they're in a completely different column. The way you will do that is when you come to this auto sum and you click on the arrow next to it, it shows you everything that's available. Of course, there are more functions, but we're just going to work with these three right now. Sum, average, and count numbers. This is basically giving you a blueprint for what you can do. So this says sum, this says average. If I wanted the average of these three numbers, I could either click on this, but I'm a person who like to write it out longhand. So double click on this, on sum, and then type in average. And $18,667 is the average of these three numbers. So now you have a pretty basic idea of how functions work. So if I wanted to go back to sum. So whatever is going to happen to these numbers is going to be right here. Whatever I tell it to do here is going to happen to this group of numbers. Now, how do I add these to the mix? Plus, and then add these particular cells, the H cells. So it's H2 colon H, I think that's to H5, and then in parentheses. Now I'm missing something. Can you guess what I'm missing? You are correct. I'm missing some. Press enter. And now we have the combined total of these cells and these cells. And you can do this as many times as you want. You can plus and then J, L, M, whatever you want to do. Now, with these different functions, we're going to try something different. What we're going to do is we're going to average one set of cells and sum that with the other set. So we're going to take the average of these cells and add them to the sum of these cells. And by doing that, all we have to do is change the word.